From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor. 500 help.
That's Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Taylor 500 help. 24 hours is their availability. So if you have something go out like a water heater or your furnace at like 6 o'clock at night or 7 o'clock at night or even midnight, guess what? You call 500 help and Taylor Heating and Plumbing, they come fix your furnace or they come replace your water heater with Bradford White water heaters. Taylor is open and servicing their clients 24 hours. They do air conditioning, heating, plumbing, home energy. I remember in July when it was hot here in Rochester, feels so long ago, that our air conditioner went out at 6:30 at night. The guy came over. He was at our house by 7:30. Our air conditioner was up and running by 8. That's the kind of guys that Taylor Heating and Plumbing are. They do comprehensive maintenance plans. They've been doing this a long time. So Taylor Heating and Plumbing, the guys know what they're doing. Call Taylor 500 help for any heating and plumbing needs. That's Taylor Heating and Plumbing. Precision Lawn and Garden, 195 North Avenue in Webster. Of course, we got a big snowstorm coming. Have you been up to see Kimberly and Justin up there at Precision Lawn and Garden? Maybe you're tired of shoveling. Maybe you want one of those, big old snow blowers. They have them. They have big ones. They have small ones. They have middle-sized ones. They do, professional sales service and parts since 1969. So get up there if you need a chainsaw. Maybe you've had a tree that fell over in your front lawn because of all the wind and the snow. They have those too. Precision Lawn and Garden for all snow removal equipment and accessories. Check them out, Precision Lawn and Garden. And if you don't want to shovel or snow blow your driveway, call Brian at Express Sealers. Express Sealers, 645-2010. They do residential and business snow removal on the east side only. So if you need them, east side only, he gets it done for you. Brian is fantastic. 645-2010, 645-2010 for Express Sealers, of course, doing snow removal, residential or business. And please support our advertisers. They support us here at Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People Podcast Network.
The calm before the storm. Everybody ready? You're in your bunker, Chad?
Yes.
Live from the We the People broadcast studio.
Hello.
In calm, cloudy, 43-degree Irondequoit, New York.
Storms
43.
coming.
Storms coming.
Storms are coming.
We thought we were fired. Who knew, Chad?
Literally and figuratively.
Here she is,
Hello.
Kimberly Ray.
Hey, it is Kimberly's Revolution. It's Home Bay, and I'm Kimberly of the Kimberly's Revolution. Welcome to all of our patriots who are watching today. If you're watching on YouTube or on Facebook, thank you so much. Leave a comment. Tell us what we could do better. Tell us what we're doing right. Tell us what we suck at. Won't hurt my feelings.
What are you trying to say?
And if you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe to our channel, Kimberly's Revolution, and it's free to subscribe. Doesn't cost you a penny. Check out our Facebook page, the We the People podcast page, right, Tom? Is that right? And of course, the We the People Podcast Network.com. We do have our own webpage as well.
Follow us.
Follow us. You can do that.
We'll
We
follow
love
you
that.
back.
Yes, we will. So again, I'm Kimberly from Kimberly's Revolution. Sitting across from me, of course, is the lawyer extraordinaire, Mr. Chad Hummel, who is never at a loss for words.
If Kimberly and just Tom drag me down too much on this show, you can join me every Tuesday at 4 p.m. for Got Freedom.
Oh, I see how you work. Okay, I see how that works. And of course, Tom, who slurps his coffee.
What else are you supposed to do?
Do you actually think that's coffee,
Oh
Kimberly?
my God, I don't even know what's in it.
It's cocoa.
But yesterday and today,
Yeah, it's cocoa, all right.
Here's what the guy does. And I'm not easily bugged. Things don't really bug me.
Wait, you're not easily bugged?
I'm really not.
Oh, shocker.
He does this. And I'm like, what
It was
just
hot.
happened?
It was
so
hot.
blow on it.
Hot
Don't
whiskey, huh?
slurp it. What's wrong with you? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't stand.
Children, cover your ears.
How can his wife stand that?
She's an angel.
And of course, Austin is joining us today. Austin,
Hello.
who is our producer, makes sure everything happens. And if you're thinking about a podcast, maybe you and some friends, maybe your company, maybe, I don't know, people that your family, whoever you want to do a podcast with, check out Fitz at Rockvox Productions. He's the guy who helped us set everything up here at of course, Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People Podcast Network. So Fitz at Rockvox Productions, he's over in Bushnell's Basin. So today, just before we get started with all of our stuff today, the name of the show is Rinse, Repeat. Rinse, repeat. It seems to be a thing. So the name of the show is Rinse, Repeat. Puxatawny Phil
Aw.
today saw his shadow.
I'm a
heard he died.
weatherman. This is a big deal.
He
Thought-
saw his shadow.
Didn't he die?
No, that was a different
Milton Milt or Milt.
I don't
Milf?
You know, there's
One of the
all,
woodchucks got boosted and then died.
there's all these I don't know, fake Puxatawny Phils. You know, every town's got to have their they've got to try to take a notch out of the fame of Puxatawny Phil. But there's only one groundhog.
What happened to
and
Rochester's woodchuck?
That's it.
Got shot?
That's a Puxatawny Phil. He saw his shadow. 6 more weeks of winter. We're in Rochester. We know that.
I never understood.
You're not telling us anything we don't
Groundhog
already
Day.
know.
I mean, we either have 10 or 14 more weeks of winter
Yeah.
on February 2nd every year. So I never really understood the
It's
whole.
a drunken event, Chad. Just go with
It's
it.
that it has become that, hasn't it? I
Right.
mean, it is like Super Bowl Sunday in Pennsylvania
Right.
on Groundhog Day. So 6 more weeks of winter. We've got a big snowstorm coming. I think they say it's ramping up right now in the Midwest. That doesn't scare us.
Speaking of the Midwest,
Here in
will it
Rochester.
be Super Bowl Sunday in Kansas City anytime soon?
Really?
Wow.
Too soon?
Wow. Wow. I'm sorry.
Well, it was
Um,
good when you were there.
What's the name of your team that just changed?
Apparently,
The
Washington
Commanders.
Commanders.
The Commanders?
Yeah, the
The
Commanders.
Washington Commanders.
How
Actually,
stupid.
I don't hate it.
It's stupid.
I don't hate it. I mean, okay,
Chad,
so
did you see they got the years of their Super Bowl wrong?
I don't Redskins.
Chad, did you see the patch? They had a patch on the jersey. They had the years of their Super Bowls wrong.
82, 87, and 91 were the seasons.
So the
Yeah,
Washington
they had
88,
the
Commanders.
year of the date of the Super Bowl, not the season on the patch.
Gotcha.
So they were off by a year.
I don't mind it. I don't mind the Commanders.
Commanders?
I know you hate it. I also hate the concept of changing names like that because I always felt like they were going to come after the Chiefs next, but I think there's a difference
Well,
maybe
they went after the Cleveland Indians. right?
between and there's nothing wrong with that. There's really, I mean, a
There's
chief.
nothing wrong with what?
The chief
the
is
Irondequoit Indians.
yeah, there's nothing wrong with Indians. I mean, I hate the concept, but I don't mind Commanders. And I'll leave it at that.
Are you okay with Indians? I'm trying to.
I am.
follow
I
you.
was a
Okay.
Fort Osage Indian.
You're a
So
what?
the high school
We're
that
both Indians?
so the
really?
the high school that I went to was called Fort Osage. The Osage Indians were big
Racists.
in the area. They were not racist.
That's
We're
where you
big in the
learned it.
area where I grew up, and there's even a whole well, of course there's a lot of things there, but they have an old camp. It's in Sibley, but Fort Osage Indians. So I was an Indian. I know all the cheers. INDIANS. And yeah.
Now
so,
our show's going to get canceled.
Yeah,
Do you know the
I
word
know.
Indian is actually used 3 times in the New York State public health law,
Well,
and the human brain weighs 9.8 pounds.
that's
at least our mascot wasn't on a box of Lucky Charms,
it's
Chad.
clearly racist. I don't know. Clearly racist. Of course, we do realty here at the We the People Podcast Network. Chad's a broker and he owns a brokerage firm, Revere Realty. And I want to show you a house that is up on the market if you would like to buy it. Are you a Nirvana fan? Do you know who Nirvana is?
Yes.
Come as you are,
I heard them once.
as you were, right?
Is that the guy that blew his brains out?
It is Kurt Cobain of Nirvana. He has a daughter and she's beautiful. And she is, I think, like 27 now, 29, something like that. She's a visual artist. How she turned out normal with Kurt Cobain for a father and Courtney Love for a mother is, I have no idea. But she is selling her Hollywood Hills home for $2.2 million.
That's all?
Yeah, she purchased a Spanish colonial house for $1.9 million in 2020, and she's looking to capitalize, looking to make a little money on it. So if you want to buy the Francis Bean Cobain home and you have 2.2 million laying around, why?
We could get them
Why not?
2.5. They should call us.
She's beautiful, isn't she?
Yeah.
She has a little bit of her mom and her dad's eyes. I think she's beautiful.
She looks like a transgender. Yeah.
She
She looks like a transgender to
she
me.
is not. What's wrong with you? Are you
Oh.
angry today?
No, I'm just
She's
calling it like
beautiful.
I see it.
She was a beautiful baby too. She's a beautiful girl. So it has 4 bedrooms, 4 bathrooms. Someone reached out to us today, and we're trying to get. I have a new client, and you, Chad, sent me the email from the lady, and she's worried. You know why she's worried? And I won't name her name, but she's worried about getting a mortgage because of COVID, and because she was forced out because her company shut down, and so she fears now that because of
Gap in income.
the gap in income, she says, I really want to buy a house. And she has a very good credit score, but she's got a gap in income, and she's afraid that's going to affect her. This is where we are with this stupid COVID thing. People who want to buy houses, but their company shut down. And so they were laid off for 2 months, 3 months, 5 months, whatever. And now she's talking to a mortgage person of mine, and we're trying to make sure everything's right so that we can move forward. But this is where we are. And, hopefully we can help her, and I can find her a home, and she wants to live on the east side, and hopefully we can help her do that. But
let's go, Brandon.
This is a worry so many people have, that, oh my God, I was laid off for 5 months. How am I going to buy a house? Am I going to have to wait a year? Is a mortgage company going to accept that? I might have to write a letter. I mean, that kind of thing. So hopefully we can
do your best to keep your bills current. You don't want your credit score to lag.
Yeah, right.
Mm-hmm.
You certainly don't want the credit score to go down, and then you have the lag in income. And
any feedback from the mortgage broker yet?
She is looking into it. We're going to make it happen. The problem is she had gone through another large mortgage company here in town, and they kind of gave her a runaround. I don't know why. But you know what? Here at Revere Realty, we're willing to help you.
Tom will loan her the money.
So we will get it done.
72% interest.
So rinse, repeat. So you get vaxxed, you get boosted, you get COVID, rinse, repeat. Right? This is how this goes. This is the crazy cycle.
I've got 2 of those 3.
It's hashtag science, y'all. It's hashtag science. You get vaxxed, you get boosted, you get COVID. You just,
I was get COVID,
repeat it.
Get COVID, get vaxxed, then nothing.
It's a whole thing that we talked about yesterday of course, with Joe Rogan. And in my view, no one should ever be canceled for having an opinion. Ever. If you don't like them, don't listen to them. That's what we told people forever. You're either going to really like our show on the radio, or you're really not going to like our show. You're really going to like the podcast here at Kimberly's Revolution, or you're not. But if you don't like it, why try to cancel it? That's what I don't understand about these people.
What about Whoopi?
And Whoopi, Whoopi and Jeff Zucker. The chickens have come home to roost, haven't they?
Mm-hmm.
So you have Whoopi, who I said yesterday.
You did.
I said this. I said, I don't know if she lasts a week. Last night, late, and I don't know what time it was because it hadn't happened by the time I went to bed. It must have been after 9:00. It was released that she had been suspended without pay. Can we hear this video?
Holocaust isn't about race.
No.
It's not about race.
It is.
Well, no, it's about
a different race.
But it's not about race. It's not about race.
What is it about?
Because it's about man's inhumanity to man. That's what it's about.
But it's about white supremacy. It's
Well,
about
but
going
it's
after
not
Jews
about
and
race.
gypsies and
But these are 2
Roma.
white groups of people.
well,
How
that
do
was
we?
after black
They
people
didn't see
too.
them as white.
And they were
But
after
you're missing the point.
homosexuals.
You're
Yeah.
missing the point.
No.
When you turn it into race, it goes down this alley. Let's talk about it for what it is. It's how people treat each other. It's a problem. It doesn't matter if you're black or white, because black, white, Jews, everybody eats each other. So if you're uncomfortable, if you hear about mouse, should you be worried? Should your child say, oh my God.
Which is a book, by the way, if you don't know what mouse is.
No, that's not what they're going to say. They're going to say, I don't want to be like that.
Yeah. So, and then she went on Colbert after she apologized on Twitter. So she's on The View there. She says that the Holocaust wasn't about race, even though that we know Hitler tried to eliminate every Jew on the planet. It was the systematic annihilation of Jews in Germany because they weren't of pure Aryan race. They weren't German enough. They were Jews and they weren't pure. And so he wanted to get rid of, but you know what? It's not about race. So she, does the apology. She goes on Colbert. She doubles down, repeating the same thing that she had repeated on The View. And last night she was placed on unpaid suspension. Now, me personally, and I've said this before, I don't think she should be fired, but I don't think she lasts a week. That's me personally. I think she's either going to resign or they're going to ask her to resign. They put her on unpaid suspension. She makes $5 million a year. So you break
That's
that
all?
down. That's after taxes. That's about 40 grand a
Isn't
week.
it like one movie?
I don't know that she's done a whole lot of movies lately.
Wow, yeah.
Ghost.
But staffers are calling it a brand new day at the network because they feel relieved that they're finally putting the foot down on Whoopi Goldberg and, of course, Joy Behar, who believe that they can say anything they want and get away with it. I mean, you can say anything you want, but as we all have found out a time or two, there are repercussions to what you have to say.
I'm afraid to render my opinion on this because I don't want the We the People podcast network to suspend me without pay for 2 weeks.
Wait, we don't,
I don't have
pay
anything
anyone
wrong
on
with
this show.
There's nothing wrong with what she said.
But she's wrong. It is about race.
Yeah,
I
but-
mean, I get what you're saying, and I understand it. And I don't think, listen, it is man's inhumanity to man.
Correct.
But it was Hitler's systematic annihilation of an entire people because they weren't pure German enough. It was about race. They weren't blonde and blue-eyed like and of course he wasn't either. But they weren't blonde and blue-eyed enough for him.
So she was wrong factually, right? In other words, she misstated something that is historically known to be a fact.
Mhm.
That's all. So if she said, something incorrect about, something factually incorrect about World War I or World War II or the Vietnam War, then so be it.
Well,
she was stating her opinion exclusively to the idea of how men have treated men or humanity has treated humanity.
Of course, humans are the worst.
Yeah, throughout the
Humans are the worst.
until the robots come. Wait to
Yeah.
see what they do to
Well.
us. But that's all. I just heard that, and to me, that's all she was saying. She was rendering an opinion that.
Well, her opinion on the fact that there were 6 million Jews eliminated is rather skewed. I mean, and I said it yesterday, Holocaust revisionists come in all different shapes and sizes and looks and backgrounds. Not all Holocaust revisionists come looking like white supremacists or neo-Nazis, right? Some of them come as entertainers on TV talk shows who want to rewrite how history really is. That was my take yesterday, is that what is she really all about? Is there more of a motive behind her madness? I don't know. Should she be fired for it? No, I don't think she should be fired for it. What do they say? And I heard someone say it, I don't know. Maybe it was the Roseanne debacle where Roseanne was fired for her tweets and what she was saying.
For grabbing her crotch and spitting during the national anthem.
Well, that was years ago. Maybe counsel, don't cancel. Counsel people to be better human beings and more knowledgeable instead of cancel them. But that's not what people want to do. They just want to get rid of Joe Rogan. They want to cancel him. They don't want Joe Rogan or his show to exist at all. So let's get rid of them. Whoopi Goldberg is now on unpaid suspension. My thought is she's 68. She's angry and she's embarrassed. And they've basically kind of clipped her wings. And now I believe, and I could be wrong, but I think she's been embarrassed and now she doesn't come back. That's just me. And I don't know that, but that's my feeling.
She's going to have to go on welfare.
I don't think so.
No?
No.
Think she's doing all right?
I think Whoopi is doing okay.
Think that little smoochy smooch with Patrick Swayze and
but the chickens have come home to roost. I mean, for years she would be the first person to call someone out to be fired.
See, this is where
she would be the first person to say they need to be gone from the format on which they are. right?
If all else was equal and normal, she should not be fired and effectively canceled for what she said. But if she were fired, I don't have any sympathy for her because people like her,
and
people
Joy
like
Behar.
Zucker at CNN.
Yeah.
I don't know if we're going to talk about that or
Yes,
not.
we are.
But people like that are the ones that actually built the foundation for this cancel culture. They are
you're
the
absolutely
ones
right, 100%.
that have taken brick by brick by brick and built the bully pulpit upon which all of us are now subjected to being afraid to put our opinion out on social media.
I mean, if you listen to radio stations, they're so, vanilla. You're not going to get any opinion of any sort that is any kind of, controversial at all, because people are afraid to say anything because the crazy comes out of the woodwork.
Yeah.
I mean,
You wouldn't know though.
I wouldn't know that for a fact. I'm speculating, of course. But they've come after us here on Kimberly's Revolution and the We the People podcast network. And we've talked about that. But yeah, the chickens have come home to roost. So do I think that Whoopi Goldberg should be fired for what she said? I mean, she's right. Man's inhumanity to man over the centuries and the thousands and thousands of years, going back to caveman and the evolution,
Well,
and all that.
hold on. The caveman had it right, but go on.
Did they? Dragging the women by their,
Fire.
Woo, yeah. I do believe that
We should go back
we
to
have
those
figured
days.
out a way, always, to make other human beings suffer around us. It is the human condition.
So much less disease and illness back then.
Unfortunately, yeah, you were dead by 20. Are you
just
crazy? You just, how would you ever
but you
know?
packed a good 20 years in.
Sure.
You ate the wrong fish and you're dead.
You are crazy. But yeah, and so Jeff Zucker, if you don't know who Jeff Zucker is, he used to run NBC during the Matt Lauer days. During the Matt Lauer days, when he was closing his door with a button under his desk, right? He could lock a door with a button under his desk and then do whatever with a female staffer inside
Tom, why don't you
NBC.
just go ahead and push that button now?
Yeah, you push that button. Jeff Zucker, before he left NBC, he really put together that whole, Today Show. He brought out the concerts in the park outside of, Rockefeller Center. He really made that morning show number one. Of course, we know what Matt Lauer is.
Yeah.
Right. And Jeff Zucker, as part of the investigation.
It's what they all seem to be.
And now he's
sexual predators.
Yeah, they're eating themselves. Who doesn't think Cuomo's the one coming after him?
Well,
Sure.
So as part of the investigation, and because Jeff Zucker is now the president of CNN Worldwide, and it happened to come out that during the Chris Cuomo tenure at CNN, they asked him during the investigation, have you had a consensual relationship with someone here in the building? And it was someone that he worked with for 20 years. And he flat out lied. He said no, even though it was the main cause of his divorce in 2018. And it was the main cause for the woman's divorce.
Correct. Apparently they lived in
the same building,
above and below each other. In
How
Manhattan.
convenient.
Yeah, right.
How
Just push the elevator button.
Right.
Going down.
How convenient. So Zucker didn't tell the truth. He actually lied to try to save his ass. It stinks all the way to the top.
Yeah, you can't even make this stuff up anymore.
And you can't tell me that he did not know what his buddy Matt Lauer was doing for all those years to women in the NBC building.
What's shocking to me is, did he not know that Chris Cuomo had this dirt on him?
I think
when he summarily, obviously he was directly involved in getting rid of Chris Cuomo.
It was, well, I will tell you, according to CNN, it was very well known in the building that this had been going on for years with this Allison Gallust. So Allison Gallust and the way he kind of helped her career. It's good to have Big Daddy at the top of NBC and at the top of CNN, right? Big Daddy's going to make sure that Allison Gallust, and I don't know, maybe she is worth her weight.
Is she vice president now?
Yeah, she is. She is chief marketing officer for CNN.
Oh.
She's remaining at CNN. I say you got to fire them both.
Well,
Although-
she didn't lie, did she?
I don't know. I think you have to fire them both for conduct unbecoming in the workplace, right? He lied. The whole thing smells. And now the chickens are coming home for roost for Jeff Zucker and for, Whoopi. It's the whole thing is crazy. I wanted to show this TikTok yesterday because I thought it was funny and I thought I had sent it to Austin. But what I did was I actually put it on my Facebook page and I didn't send it to Austin.
Oh, so you already gave it away to the crew.
Well, I put it up like 2 days ago, but you haven't seen it, right?
I don't know. Is this the one that you put on our text thread?
This
yesterday?
is the TikTok video regarding COVID. And what I told you was, you get vaccine, you get boosted, you get COVID, you just repeat because you're stupid and you follow the science.
And why are you so fired up about this? Because we have to stop the spread of disinformation. Oh, so are you afraid that if somebody says something different than you will believe them? No, I'm an educated person. Thank you. I know better. I'm sorry. Are you suggesting that other people are not smart and can't think for themselves? No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying we have to silence the people that aren't sharing the right information. Okay, I'm just curious. How do you know for sure that your information is right? Oh my God, because I follow the science. Well, I mean, you follow a group of scientists who work for the government and get paid millions and even billions of dollars from pharmaceutical companies. Why won't you trust the word of other scientists who say different things and who aren't profiting off of our illness? Because you're a racist.
Always.
And there's where it all boils down. It all
Perfect.
boils down to the one thing, right?
And now the news.
Get vaxxed, get boosted, get COVID,
Repeat.
rinse,
Racist.
rinse, repeat. Yeah. And I told you before the show started that in Prince William County, Virginia, there was a school board meeting, and I guess it was a very contentious, loud, angry school board meeting because they're denying in-person education to unmasked children in defiance of the governor's order to remove the mask. No more mask mandate in Virginia. But in the school districts, they're saying, we don't care what the governor says. We're not going to teach your children.
All those domestic terrorists.
Isn't that
showing up.
ironic? Here in New
Yes,
York,
all those domestic terrorists.
They're showing up.
here in New York, the school districts won't do anything but what the governor tells them to do.
Child abuse.
And in Virginia, they won't do anything that the
Jeez,
governor
I wonder
tells
what the
them to do.
difference is, Chad.
Well, the common denominator is, masks. As long as you're in a mask,
Right.
then it doesn't matter if it comes from the governor or the school district. Just mask up.
Right.
Right. That's the answer.
And yesterday's show was called Mother Truckers. Have you seen the truckers in Canada?
Yeah, that's coming to the U.S. I heard.
So here's the thing.
Coming to a theater near you.
I can't wait. I mean, those truckers aren't going anywhere. Those truckers
Apparently,
are
they
not
have a 10
going
million.
anywhere.
Have you heard that they have a $10 million GoFundMe balance right now?
Yeah, they can't get the money.
They
though.
can't get the money
GoFundMe is trying to shut down.
because GoFundMe is trying to shut them down. That
Isn't
is
that
that is what
amazing?
I've heard. Right. The truckers at the Freedom Convoy in Ottawa, Canada, say they're going to stay there until they are confident that the Canadian government, Canadians are so nice. They go along to get along. They don't want to ruffle any fur,
You're talking
right?
about- did you say Pittsburgh or Canada?
Canada,
Oh.
Canada. They're going to stay there in that convoy until the Canadian government rolls back federal vaccine and mask mandates. There are 2 videos I want to show you.
Do we know how many trucks are there?
Hundreds and hundreds. I mean, look at those.
Looks like about 10, Chad.
10 trucks.
Yeah. Well, exactly. That's what I'm seeing. It's 10.
So they're protesting. The demonstrators are arriving by the thousands.
Are they going to be able to play hockey next year?
every day? I know.
I saw a
Are they going to
TikTok.
be able to drink Molson?
I saw a TikTok
that was one of my
video of
favorites.
truck drivers playing hockey in the street.
You did not.
Yeah, that was on TikTok.
Seriously?
I should have sent it
Is
to
that
you.
is that called street hockey?
Can we
It's
play the video?
truck hockey.
The first one or it doesn't matter which one.
Truck you.
Hi guys, how are you? It's Dave here, TikTok family. I got here some fellas. with
looks
the
like he'll survive
farmers,
for a
man.
few
They
weeks.
got the big boy tractors. They come here to be with us and to join us. We got some diesel they brought us and themselves. and they want to show the love and say hi.
Yes.
And Billy girl's back. Billy's with
we're
me.
doing my TikTok on this TikTok.
Oh, look at
What'd
this.
she
Look
say?
at this. Oh, just in time. Look at this. We got people bringing us fuel. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Woo! Woo!
Yeah.
Showing the love. Showing the love. Yeah. So you guys all have a great day, and we're here. We're fighting for you. Remember. So love you guys. Talk to you soon.
They're gonna eat him first.
These are the salt of the earth, regular people who make the economy work in Canada. But Trudeau says their rhetoric is hateful and racist, and he won't talk to them.
Racist against who?
Well, that's Trudeau right there in blackface.
Exactly. That's
I'm not kidding
Racist
you.
against him.
At a party in 2001,
That was
or
in 2001.
2005, I think 2001 or 2005.
Even more recent then.
But he
perhaps.
doesn't get who these people are. He doesn't get the, blue collar workers driving trucks across country to make sure that you have food on your table if you live in Canada. He doesn't give a rat's ass about that.
Just a side note, did you see the stories going around social media that perhaps he's related? We'll probably get canceled for me saying this, that he's the illegitimate son of Fidel Castro.
What? His mama did get around. She hung out with
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones for a number of years.
And somebody
Yeah.
somebody put together a research packet and placed his mother in Cuba within 9 to 10 months of him being born.
I've never seen.
In Castro circles.
Does he look like Pierre Trudeau, his daddy?
They put pictures side by side
Okay.
of Trudeau and Castro
Yeah.
throughout various points of his life, when he was
Yeah.
a teenager, when he was in his early 20s, and then
So-
now, and then lastly they put up a picture and said, but this is who he doesn't look like, and
Oh.
then put him up against his own
Daddy.
supposedly
Pierre.
his father. Pierre. Yeah.
So here's the other,
Kinda
but I love it.
interesting stuff.
Here's a guy that's so out of touch with the backbone of
they
his
all are.
country.
They
They're
all are, of course.
completely out of touch. Biden's out of touch. Let's go, Brandon. Truck you, Trudeau.
That's awesome.
I love that. Can we play the
That
other
is
video of the
awesome.
guys? Here's some of the truckers that are in the
I'm gonna
convoy
paint that on the side of my wife's minivan.
that are protesting. Here's what they're saying. They're not going anywhere.
Want change. They feel that we are their last hope because nobody else is listening. We're listening, and we are here.
No mask, no vax. That's what they're all about. No vax mandate to drive a truck.
We're all brothers in this together, and we're here for one cause, and that's to fight for the freedoms of Canadians and for Canada itself. We need our rights back.
We're here for freedom, for what's right for the people, not what's right for the government.
This is about freedom.
That's what we're standing for, is freedom.
I would give this real estate up for my freedom. When Justin says he's going to lift all mandates, I will gladly go home to be with my family.
We're not anti-vax. We're not anti-anything other than anti-mandate, if you will. That's what it's about. The message is freedom for every Canadian.
Till it's done 100%. Not 99.9.
Looks warm there.
100%.
Doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't matter what it is you feel about COVID-19 or masks or any of that stuff. I think it's important that we maintain the liberties that so many sacrificed and died to have in this country.
I don't want my kids having to wear masks. I don't want that. But I want the right to choose that. I want the right to choose a vaccine or not a vaccine.
We're in for the long haul, and we're here until we achieve the goal.
Good.
And that is to have our voices heard, number one, and number two, to have the freedoms restored that the citizens of this nation
Looks
deserve.
like a good old-fashioned
Give people
insurrection to
their
me.
Freedom back, give people their lives back, give people their choices back.
Till we get the confidence that our government has heard us and is willing to make changes for the people. And we're not leaving. We're not going anywhere.
We want freedom. We want our Canada.
Doesn't exist anymore.
back.
It doesn't.
Wow.
And if it, listen, even if you talk about it on social media at its inception, used to be this place for great ideas and communication and free speech. Social media is not that anymore. If your ideas are different they want to shut you down on social media. And I think you were talking that you wanted to touch on the fact that, Biden wants to, shut down. And Joe Rogan is a prime example of this, to make it known that he is misinformation.
Well, didn't Biden say that, that he had a lot of tanks and stuff that one time when somebody was saying about shutting something down, and he said, well, we got a lot of tanks. And they were insinuating he was going to use them.
The U.S. government?
Yeah, he was going to use them on his own people.
Yeah, good luck with that.
He did, but he left them in Afghanistan.
Right.
Too bad, too late.
There you go, Austin.
But that's what you wanted to touch on, right?
Well, yeah. So we have a couple of audio video clips where, as we know, the government, the administration is constantly beating the drum of COVID misinformation, right? And how they have to shut up and shut down people like us and people like Joe Rogan,
right?
And anyone that would dare get on a social media platform like YouTube or Spotify and speak just
their truth,
their real life truth. Like, in other words, I guess the source of what's going on with Joe Rogan right now pertains to him specifically delineating what he did when he got COVID. So he was just explaining his own personal truth as to how he treated his COVID and how his body responded to the treatments that he took.
Right. And the fact that he didn't think that teenagers and little ones needed to get vaxxed because they weren't suffering any severe symptoms.
Exactly.
And they're not.
Yeah.
That's science.
Yeah. So the government now, so we have Jen Psaki, of course, on behalf of the Biden administration, telling us that big tech platforms need to start cracking down on us if we speak the truth on COVID, right? And then, of course, we all know the quote unquote truth that Joe Biden has spoken on COVID. Austin, do you have those video clips that you can queue up?
Disclaimer, it's a positive step, but we want every platform to continue doing more to call out mis and disinformation while also uplifting accurate information. Our hope.
Wow.
This is a simple, basic proposition. If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be in an ICU unit, and you're not going to die.
Right.
Rinse
so wait,
and repeat.
Was she talking to him? Do that again, Austin.
Rinse and
I think
repeat.
she's talking to him.
Disclaimer, it's a positive step, but we want every platform to continue doing more to call out mis and disinformation while also uplifting accurate information. Our hope.
This is a simple, basic proposition. If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized, you're not going to be in an ICU unit.
Well, that's a lie.
You're not going to die.
That's a complete lie.
Joe Rogan's got to get
that's
kicked off
100
Spotify.
That's 100% a lie. You get vaxxed, you get boosted.
Can we kick that
get
stupid,
COVID.
senile old man off of TV?
Rinse, repeat.
Who's lying? He lied to the American public.
He did lie to
with
the
the
American public.
with the way bigger bully pulpit than Spotify wishes it could ever have.
I mean,
right?
my friend in September, Dave, he was fully vaxxed, got COVID, went to the hospital, died. No comorbidity. No, I mean, none. He was in great shape. I mean, he was older. He was, 70, but he wasn't sick. He didn't have diabetes. He didn't have heart problems. He didn't have, liver problems.
He probably ended up with a heart problem, though, unfortunately.
But there you go, 100%.
Yeah, there's the president lying.
There's a science.
And that's
the science.
His spokesperson telling us that we have to be punished for lying when we're the ones telling the truth.
Right.
We're just speaking what we've seen with our own eyes and have heard with our own ears in our own personal circles.
But like the mother truckers in Canada, we just want our freedom back. The freedom to choose whether to wear a mask or to get vaxxed if we want to. And the freedom to keep our jobs and support, like the person that reached out to me that wanted to buy a house. She goes, I don't know if the gap because of COVID is going to keep me from getting a mortgage. That's a bullshit that people have to think about that, isn't it? That you're put in that position to begin with.
Did you hear about the new Revere vaccine mandate?
No.
Bend over.
Do I get dinner first at least? I mean, I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, Tom's buying.
So inappropriate. So
really
inappropriate. Hopefully you guys are watching this. Tell your friends. It's Kimberly's Revolution. It's the We the People Podcast Network.com. We support our advertisers. Please support Taylor Heating and Plumbing. They support us. Taylor 500 Help.
And we love the Redskins.
Chad,
Sure.
Chad, are you human resources or am I?
Precision.
It's human capital now.
Precision Lawn and Garden for that big snowblower or chainsaw or whatever it is you need to make sure that you can get out of your driveway. And Express Sealers, they do plowing in the winter. They do sealing in the summer. So if you need business or residential, it is Express Sealer 645-2010. And you have kids. How many kids do you have in school?
3.
Kids are weird, right? I mean, they're trying to find themselves, trying to feel out, where they're going in life, who they are, their identity, what have you.
Where's she going with this, Tom?
I don't know. My kids are older, Chad.
And by the way, did you send me something where someone was denied medication because of a vaccine?
Do we have that?
Can we talk about that?
Oh, absolutely. It's all over social media today.
I didn't send it to Austin, but do you want me to read it?
Yeah, go ahead and read that.
Before we get on to so kids sometimes have issues and they're on medication.
This is a doctor, I believe, at a practice in Webster.
A doctor at a practice in Webster.
Yeah,
who writes, "Hi there, sorry for the delay.
This is an email, right?
We've had tons of forms to go through on top of the pandemic. I will need to redirect our plans a bit given medical guidelines. As I mentioned, COVID vaccine is important and critical for your health and safety. I would urge that you get this life-saving vaccine as soon as possible. Controlled substance medications such as, is it Vyvanse and Ritalin, are highly regulated in our state. I cannot prescribe these meds to patients that are not following all medical guidelines to optimize their health. Thus, I cannot prescribe you a medication like Vyvanse,
I think.
Vyvanse, until you obtain your COVID vaccination. If you are unwilling to protect yourself against COVID,
there's the shaming part.
If you are unwilling to protect yourself against COVID, then the option is a medication that isn't Vyvanse or Ritalin."
What if this person has themselves locked in their room for the past 2 years and that's how they're protecting themselves against COVID, but they don't want to get the vaccine? I mean, this is just so beyond the pale.
Let me ask you a question.
This is a doctor threatening and coercing his own patient
who has ADD,
withholding their medication for an
they
unrelated medical condition.
Right.
I mean, this is just patently unethical and illegal.
This person, and I don't know if it's a kid. I'm thinking it's a kid because they're the ones that are on ADD meds. Not always, but the majority of time, I would say 95% of the time, the people who are prescribed Ritalin are probably teenagers, right? So because this teenager or whomever it is isn't vaccinated, they don't get the Ritalin or the Vyvanse because this asshole in Webster is saying, "Oh, you're not vaxxed." And how does that even pertain to ADD anyway? What's the correlation?
Yeah.
ADD is not a comorbidity, is it? No one's dying from ADD. I mean, I might understand it if you're going in for a heart transplant, like that guy we talked about last week. All right. So you need to be vaxxed for a heart, whatever. You need a heart. But this person has ADD.
And here's the blatant lie, right? I mean, when you're doing something that's so patently wrong and indefensible, you can't help but expose yourself. So he says here in the middle, and Austin has it up on the screen now for the viewers.
This is a doctor in Webster, you said?
I believe he's in Webster, yes. Okay. North Ponds practice.
Is it Dr. Hartman?
I believe so.
This is Dr. Hartman.
I think it's Scott Hartman, I believe.
Okay.
And he says, I cannot prescribe these meds to patients that are not following all medical guidelines to optimize their health. I mean, how many other medical guidelines would you have to follow to be optimizing your health? Does that include your diet and your exercise?
Well, I mentioned that yesterday. If you go into a restaurant and you're a person who is obese, is the waiter going to come over and say, golly, unless you show me that you exercise today
Exactly.
and you haven't gone over 750 calories, I can't show you the dessert menu.
Yeah, what are the
Is
guidelines?
That next?
What are the doctor's guidelines for BMI, for body mass index? So does he screen patients' BMI and their blood pressure and then deny them their Ritalin or their Vyvanse or whatever drug for whatever medical condition that any other one of his patients may have? No, of course he doesn't. He does this for the virtue signaling because of COVID,
of course,
and the Moderna and the Pfizer and everything else that we've all had to live through, right? I mean, every conceivable facet of our lives now is being infiltrated with this coercion.
Yeah.
Get tested, get vaccinated, get this, get that.
COVID.
Now
repeat.
now you go to your doctor and he won't even give you an ongoing prescription that you've been on for an unrelated medical condition unless you submit to his virtue signaling of getting the vaccination.
Exactly.
I know how we could end this whole thing. Everybody would get vaccinated. Just stop prescribing Viagra.
What?
Right.
What?
Everybody would get all the seniors.
Oh, all the seniors. Oh, I get what you're trying to say. So
Is that why you got
you sent me something like that, and I'm like, I'm off. I mean, my head flew off my body.
Lori threatened to take away your Viagra.
You know why do a lot of times insurance, if you switch insurance companies or whatever, they won't treat you for some issue that you had before, right? That used to be a big thing, that you have an ongoing illness, but you're a pre-existing condition, and your insurance switched, or maybe you got married and you had changed job, whatever it is, you have a pre-existing condition. The insurance wasn't. This is what that is. It's discrimination based on your current issue that you have.
Oh,
and so this is how they hold it. It's like it's how they hold the carrot in front of you.
Yeah,
we'll give you your meds, but you got to get vaxxed.
What do we always say? Whatever the left is saying, they're doing the opposite, right? So this goes to government-run healthcare. So government-run healthcare, socialized medicine, subsidized medicine, right? We all argued that it's going to cause things like the government withholding treatments and things like that. And we had we had to put our tinfoil hats on and go sit in the corner, right? Because we were nuts and crazy to suggest that the government, who has our best interest at heart at all times, it would never provide care for us. Now we are living it. We are living the very thing that they called us crazy for insinuating back in 2008 when Obama said, I want Obamacare. And we said, no. You can't have the government in control of your medical care, because then the government's going to make rules and you aren't going to have a say.
100%.
That needs to be between you and your doctor. Right. And then they cry, oh, with the big bad insurance companies, blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. I don't like insurance companies either. That's why I canceled my medical insurance. But that is freedom of choice.
Right, exactly.
And at least if you are going to take a pill or pay $1 million for it, you have the freedom to make that decision yourself. But now we've eliminated that freedom of choice altogether.
If you're ADD and you're unvaxxed, you're not getting your Ritalin.
Yeah. Now we have a doctor.
Not getting your Ritalin.
Now we have a doctor who's forcing a decision upon you.
Yeah. Or maybe you're a woman who you want your birth control. Oh, I'm sorry.
Right.
Are you not vaxxed? Then I can't give you your birth control.
Yeah, this is the leftist.
Don't think this is honestly. Don't think that that's not going to happen.
Women's reproductive care from the leftists.
Who would ever think that someone would say you can't have your Ritalin because you're not vaccinated? You can't have your birth control. You're not vaccinated. You can't have your blood pressure medication. You're not vaccinated. Don't think anyone is safe, guys.
They're kicking parents out of children's hospitals where their children are being treated for cancer.
No one is safe.
Yeah, and that's the government.
No one is safe.
That's when the government's in control. That's what happens.
And you guys, and there are people that like it.
This is what they asked for.
They eat it up.
Yep.
They love it. It's #science.
Yep, follow the science.
So if you think that, they'd never take away my birth control. Whoever thought a year ago they'd take away someone's Ritalin because they weren't vaxxed? What's Steve in the correlation?
Yeah.
It makes me
The correlation is evil.
angry.
It's evil. That's the correlation.
So
Evilness.
and it does. And by the way, you get vaxxed, you get it anyway. Austin over here got vaxxed. Did he get COVID? Yes, he did. Yeah.
Well,
Love
you
ya.
know, I think it probably wore
Love
off.
you, Austin.
Wore off by the time I got it.
Did it wear off? Is that what we're saying?
That's it. Yeah.
Well, you didn't get boosted then.
That's
It waned.
Get vaxxed.
I didn't get boosted. That's why.
Here's what I think. I think a vaccination that wears off in 2 months isn't a good vaccination.
Yeah.
It's a failure. It's a big fat F. You get an
That's
F
it.
on that paper.
We just got kicked off Spotify.
You get a big fat F. If it doesn't work,
What does Joe Biden have to say?
2
about the
months
vaccine,
later,
Austin?
I mean, do we worry about getting
The We the
polio?
People Podcast Network does not endorse the opinions of the host.
When's the last time you had a polio vaccination?
Yesterday.
This is a simple, basic proposition.
Simple.
If you're vaccinated, you're not going to be hospitalized.
Nope.
You're not going to be in an ICU
Nope.
unit, and you're not going to die.
Nope.
Okay.
It's so fucking awesome.
Let me ask you this. Do any of your kids identify as
As a cat,
anything? I mean,
they identify as
children,
as
Boy,
not being obligated
male
to do
and
their chores.
female.
male or female. I mean, that's a big thing now. Sex in the City. Charlotte's kid identifies as Rocky instead of Rose, right? Sex in the City. It's
They identify as being attached to their iPhones.
It's really gotten crazy. Yes, they're
They
identified.
identify as iPhones.
Yes.
That's what my kids identify as.
There is a school district, and it is a Michigan school district. It's the Midland Public School District. And apparently there was a rumor that there were children in the Midland, Michigan Public School District that identified as cats. They're furries. They identify as furry. I mean, I identify as a cat. I will hiss at you sometimes. So she addressed the school board and said, there are kids saying that there's a litter box for the kids that identify as cats in the school restroom.
Oh, would you stop it?
That's what I
Not.
said yesterday.
It's a real thing. And so you want to play the TikTok first and then we'll play the real?
Are there transgendered cat bathrooms?
The unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats.
Yeah, I'll be right back. I just gotta go add this thing to the list of shit I never thought I'd fucking hear in my life.
Oh, but let's hear it because here's the actual
This
school
can't be
board.
true.
Here's the actual school board meeting dialogue.
Come on. This is a gag, right?
Turn it up.
Hi, Lisa. Welcome.
Hi, Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you.
Oh, they said Merry Christmas at least.
I have a speech prepared to read regarding the test to stay program and how unconstitutional it is. But I need to address something else, not just to you as the board, but to parents and grandparents and taxpayers in our community. Still wrapping my brain around this a little bit, but yesterday I heard something and I was stunned. And today I am equally stunned and a little bit upset. Well, not a little bit, a lot of bit upset, furious. I would even use that word, but I want to talk about the fact that, and I know this is
Get to
going
the
on
point,
nationwide,
lady.
so it is not just
She's got 2 minutes and
for
19
this
seconds
board,
still,
but
Chad.
Our community needs to understand that the agenda that is being pushed through our schools is just my opinion. But
She got more time on this show than I
when it
did.
comes to some of the activities. So let's talk about furries. It was addressed by a child a couple months ago that they are put in an environment where there are kids that identify as a furry, a cat or a dog, whatever. And so yesterday I heard that at least one of our schools in our town has in one of the unisex bathrooms, a litter box for the kids that identify as cats.
WTF.
And, I am really disturbed by that. And I will do some more investigation on that. I know it's going on nationwide. I know it is. It's part of the agenda that's being pushed. I don't even want to understand.
Same thing in Greece.
But I think
I
that
heard
people need
yesterday.
to be aware of it because I am really upset as a parent.
My kids don't change the litter box at home.
Put in an environment like that.
That's why they have a janitor.
You know, I'm all for creativity and imagination, but when someone lives in a fantasy world and expects other people to go along with it, I have a problem with that. So I'm just putting that out there. I will investigate more.
Okay, so
but
can
as
we
far
stop
as
her?
the
So
Just Stay
the
program-
statement from the school district,
America is so fucking lost. We're so done.
the statement from the school district said there is no truth whatsoever to the false statement and accusation. There have never been litter boxes within Midland Public Schools in Michigan.
Did you see Patty's comment?
Just look at Patty's comment. That's
Is
the
there a
best.
fire hydrant? Is there a fire hydrant for kids that identify as a dog? So
Oh, beautiful.
Brandy reached out to me and said, you and Tom were talking about a kid identifying as a cat and wanting a litter box. Also happened, I believe, at Arcadia. A friend of mine posted about it on January 5th. People have lost their ever-loving minds. Apparently, early January, her daughter came home with a video of a teacher discussing how kids who identify as animals might need special bathroom privileges.
Do cats have to be vaccinated?
They are a mammal, so I would say yes.
I have an old
Because
boyfriend.
if not, I
You
might
can
have my-
identify as a cat,
I
so you
might
don't
have
need
my-
to get vaccinated.
I have
might
an
my
old
daughters
boyfriend
Go with the cat thing.
whose cat actually used the toilet like a human being.
Like Robert De Niro and Meet the Parents, Meet
Yes.
the Fockers.
They trained their cat, my old high school boyfriend, they trained the cat to use the toilet. I am not even kidding. Didn't have a litter box. Cat used the toilet. They had like 2 or 3 bathrooms. So whatever bathroom he was closest to, they always left the lid open so the cat could go in and do his business. But we have children identifying as cats, allegedly, and schools, allegedly, but according to this school district, completely false. But what do you believe?
Well, I mean, there's either a
we're
litter box-
absolutely fucked.
Can I ask? Because I always say where there's smoke, there's fire. How did that rumor get started in the first place?
TikTok.
Wasn't there that song, Rumors? How do rumors get started?
Rumor has it.
Started by jealous people.
I'm just. But how does that even, was it discussed? Hey, I identify as a cat. I mean, Chloe said in Hilton, she graduated with some girls that every day would come wearing cat ears and a cat
that's true.
tail.
I've seen that.
And the whole thing. What is that about?
I had heard, well, you know what? Okay,
What is that
so
about?
You ask if I believe this.
I'm not letting my kid go out looking like a freak.
The fact that I have to even entertain whether I believe it means that it's very likely true.
Yeah.
Because I know what you're referring to. I didn't believe that these furries existed, right? I heard my kids talking
Oh,
about
yeah,
them.
they have conventions.
I didn't believe they existed until last year at Christmas time. I was at Eastview Mall.
There's been a convention here in Rochester downtown.
and I saw a whole gaggle of these
cat people.
Yeah.
Is their
They-
favorite show cats?
They could be any kind of furry. They could be a wolf or a whatever,
Yeah, I saw a whole group of them walking through Eastview Mall a year ago Christmas,
wearing their costumes.
wearing their costumes at Eastview Mall. Yeah. So
Their
yeah, they got
furry
to go to the
costume.
bathroom somewhere. I mean, they're not going to settle for the men's room or the women's room or the he, she, her, it room. So get them a litter box.
Come on.
No, I'm just saying. And
We're so fucked.
We have to be sensitive. I think all cats' lives matter. I agree.
I love cats more than I love people. I'll just say it. I don't mind saying it.
I love my cat.
I love cats more than I love people. That's all I'm going to say about that. You want to see what happens?
Forrest Gump.
You want to see what happens when a restaurant runs out of steak at a Golden Corral? Have you ever in your life eaten at Golden Corral?
I have
Yes.
been to the one in Henrietta, I think once.
When I played football,
It's not even open, is it?
When it first opened, I was there once.
Listen, Golden Corral, where I grew up,
And back in the day,
is,
hang on, and
is
back in the
qualified
day,
as good eating.
whenever we went to Florida, because it was like really early when Golden Corral first came out.
Yeah.
Whenever we went to Florida, we always went.
Yeah. Where I grew up, that is qualified as good eating.
Mhm.
I haven't eaten at a Golden Corral since probably 1997.
I was going to say the last time I ate there was probably 95.
1997, 96.
That was road trip food for our football
But
program.
in Pennsylvania, there was a big to-do because the Golden Corral ran out of steak at the buffet. You want to see what happens when they run out of steak at the buffet at the Golden Corral?
They had plenty of salad.
Can we play that before we leave here?
We're going to go to Bucks County now. Police are investigating this big brawl that broke out inside of a restaurant. Shayna is in Bensalem, a Golden Corral.
Golden Corral right on State Road. It was all captured on video. Of course, somebody posted it to Facebook. It goes viral. Let's get right to the video. You see dozens of people throwing punches and throwing chairs right in the middle of this restaurant. A chaotic scene at what's normally considered and coined as a family-friendly environment. The video has been shared thousands of times already, and the company that owns the restaurant says they called the police, and now it's under investigation. The patrons we spoke with, of course, shaken and disturbed.
Did they have their masks on?
No.
I'm in the middle of this restaurant, a chaotic scene at what's normally considered and coined as a family-friendly environment. The video has been shared thousands of times.
One guy's got a
The company
suit
that
on.
owns the restaurant says they called the police, and now it's under investigation. But patrons we spoke with, of course, shaken and disturbed.
Yeah.
What down?
They didn't get any steak.
I've never seen anything like that. I've seen people have a couple words from time to time, but basically,
the last piece of steak.
You go in there and you have a good time. It's
Cut a
just
bitch.
sad. It's just really sad. Everybody is on short fuses these days, and they
are.
just really they need to just take a time out. You know.
Listen, when I want a fine steak meal, I personally go to the Golden Corral. I don't endorse Golden Corral, and they're not giving us any money for that particular endorsement, but I just want to say the finest steak in the land.
Country fried steak, right?
Is it Golden Corral?
We got to bring back Ponderosa. That was the best.
Oh my Lord.
Ponderosa
Anyway,
every Tuesday night when I was a kid.
Ponderosa was the greatest.
that is going to do it for Kimberly's Revolution.
On
We're
that note-
so glad you were able to join us. I am Kimberly.
We're
of course,
so screwed.
Across from me is Chad and just Tom. We will be back next week. What's coming up later tonight? Anything? On the
We
With
have
the People
Austin
Podcast
show,
Network.
Pop Culture Partisans. So
Okay.
your weekly dose of PCP.
All right.
And then Jose Pio is coming on at 8:00.
Nice. We like Jose
Who's his
Pio,
guest?
and we love Austin.
Don't know.
We never know who his guest is.
All right,
He always has such great guests. but he never tells
See
us
you
who they
next
are.
Tuesday, everybody.
Producer Austin is going to have his show later, and please support our advertisers. Of course, Taylor Heating and Plumbing, Precision Lawn and Garden, and Express Sealers. They support us. We need you to support them. And as always,
Buy more cat litter.
Be kind to others.
From attic to basement, we're here for you. It's quality service in all we do. Call Taylor 500 House.